just listening to that Zimbabwean Electoral Commission press briefing, Ms. Chiguma giving us an update in terms of parliamentary seats that have been confirmed. 210 constituencies, as we know. They've counted 217 with 3 still missing, Michelle. A resounding victory for ZANU-PF in terms of those parliamentary elections, getting 151 seats and MDC getting 54 seats. Let's try and make sense of all of this. I'm joined now by Ndebele Zenzele, and he's a journalist here in the country. Any surprises, Ndebele?
I think not so much of a surprise because, we expected ZANU-PF to win in town. But however, people thought maybe that the Mugabe factor was going to swing the vote to the opposition, especially his endorsement of some sort, and also the fact that he's no longer there, and the NPF as well, and the Mujuru factor. But the small parties, they were not a factor in this election. ZANU-PF went on and won most of these seats, so that we thought maybe the Mugabe factor was going to push the vote to the opposition. So, yeah, it's surprising in a way because ZANU-PF now is sitting comfortable on 2/3 in parliament, and they can do anything. They can change the constitution.
And that's what I want to go into. What does this essentially mean?
It's bad for democracy. I think it's bad for the people of Matebeleland because the reason why I'm saying that is that during the last presentation of the budget, the Minister of Finance said that they should do away with the provincial councils and the devolution that is in the constitution, and they could not do that because of the law. They need to amend the constitution. But now with 2/3, they can do that. There are a lot of other issues that we know ZANU-PF is not comfortable with. They are not comfortable with the dual citizenship. They are not comfortable with the Judicial Service Commission being involved in choosing the Chief Justice. So they can just, by one sitting, amend the constitution that suits them. So I see them consolidating power, amending the constitution to give them, already we have a presidential, the president that has executive powers. But I see them consolidating that power and doing away with some of the things that they negotiated in the 2013 constitution. So this result is very, very bad for democracy.
Let's talk about the margins. Some crazy numbers coming out here.
It's really like massive. No one would have thought that after the split, so to speak, in ZANU-PF, they will go on and win this margin. But this is a lesson to say ZANU-PF has the rural vote. Unless the opposition deals with the rural vote, they are going to have the problems. But it also says that ZANU-PF is an institution. It's not one individual. So the fact that Mugabe was ZANU-PF and ZANU-PF is Mugabe, that myth has been debunked. ZANU-PF can proceed without Mugabe. So it's really, the margins are shocking. Because we expected the MDC to do well, but the MDC are to blame in some of the constituencies because I think they lost a number, 5 to 7 constituencies, because they fielded 2 candidates in the same party. And you find that, for example, in Goromonzi West, the MDC candidates at 10,000 and 5,000, then ZANU won with 12,000. And there are most of these constituencies like that. The Kupe factor as well, that Thokozani Kupe, who left the MDC just a few months before the election, goes on, not wins any seat, but disturbs divides the vote, and the alliance does not win that seat. So the people of Matebeleland voted against the ZANU-PF, but the ZANU-PF won most of these seats because of the division of votes.
And of course, we heard Ms. Chiguma a short while ago saying if you have any evidence of vote rigging, please do come to us or go to the relevant authorities, as that is also doing the rounds. Some people saying, hey, look, this may have been rigged.
Yeah, I think the default mode of losing an election is to say that it was rigged without actually looking at the facts. And I think I would like to urge the opposition that if they have the evidence, bring the evidence forward. Go to the ZEC and complain and give them the evidence. What I liked about what ZEC has done, they said they are not going to announce the presidential elections until the issue of the V1 forms have been dealt with and the agents for these different political parties have gone through them. So I expect the opposition now to go to ZEC with their V1 forms and say, these are the figures that we have, what do we have, and the dispute starts from there. So they need to put their evidence, officially. Complaining on Twitter and all these kind of things, insulting people in rural areas will not change anything. We need evidence, and you need to present this evidence if we have it.
Let's see how the situation, or rather explore how the situation has played itself on the ground. Here in Bulawayo, very calm, very peaceful, nothing like what we're seeing in in the city of Harare.
Bulawayo has voted overwhelmingly for the opposition, so they are comfortable, they are happy that they played their role. In Harare, there are people who are not happy with the situation. It's the capital, that's where the president is. So we've seen people demonstrating, but these are small numbers, and my worry is that they might not sustain it. Actually playing by the sidelines as well, we are seeing COMESA, African Union, SADC Parliamentary Forum, the observers saying it was largely free, it was fair, people expressed their will. It's only EU which said the playing field was not even. So if these international observers are endorsing the election, it's weakening the case for the opposition to say the election was rigged, because they then need to present the hardcore evidence. Yeah.
But there could be an argument to say that, can we trust, especially the SADC observer mission? We do know that in 2013 they declared that election free and fair, but it was marred by controversy.
Well, yeah, the African observers, this issue of comradeship, I think even the West elections in 2008, when there was a lot of violence, they never condemned it. So with this, now we have 46 observer missions, and it will be interesting to find out who else says the election is free and fair. So for Zimbabwe's future, for money purposes, for the doors of economic prosperity to start, we are following very much the opinion of the European Union, American-based organizations, the Commonwealth. These are the people basically who are going to bring money into the country, foreign direct investment, support from these Western countries. And if they are comfortable with the process, then it's good. But what Mnangagwa doesn't want at the moment is another disputed election, because he needs the legitimacy, especially after taking over using a military coup.
Indeed. Thank you very much to Ndebele Zenzele, saying there that this win by ZANU-PF, this overwhelming win in terms of parliamentary seats by ZANU-PF is not good for Matebele land, it's not good for democracy. Let's find out now what the reaction has been here in Zimbabwe on social media. I am joined by social media expert Sean Ndlovu. Sean, let's get straight into it. What are people online saying?
People online are shocked, some are surprised what's going on. People on the Twitter streets or on Facebook are shell-shocked. They don't understand what happened, and like what my colleague has just said was that they're busy insulting people in the rural areas, saying that for the next 5 years or so they cannot live here in Zim because someone wanted a bag of fertilizer. Because of that, and there are these arguments going online that, okay, you think the people in rural votes want the same things that you want in town, so it's two different contexts. So we have a term in the social media field that people stay in a filter bubble, meaning that when you follow certain individuals or follow certain topics, you tend to get that information that's tailored to what you like or you click on. So basically that's what's happening. I think most people on Twitter and Zim have been following certain thinking and plans, so that's what they're getting the news. They're not following other independent thinkers. So basically people are shell-shocked at the moment.
And Zimbabweans living in the diaspora?
Zimbabweans in the diaspora partly are to blame also, because they are the ones who are sending all these messages, and they're sending all these fake news or fake results and everything. They are also shocked. The issue again, the conversations that are going online, they're saying, okay, you guys are in the diaspora, why didn't you come home and vote and so-called defend the vote, as you are saying? So this election was a social media election, but the problem was that it was fought on Twitter, not on the ground. And we've seen on the ground that the rural vote came out big time.
It was fought on social media and not on the ground, but a different kind of fighting happening right now on the ground in Harare. We've seen pictures of people looting. We've seen pictures of people burning things on the street and taking to the streets in protest of this result and alleging that there's been rigging going on. What's been the reaction to that on social media?
Again, on social media, like you say, you've noticed people are now retweeting or sending pictures that are not of that. There are some that we've seen like pictures of the riot police in town. We haven't seen, and some pictures we're trying to verify them if they're true. There might be pictures of old incidences, but yes, we're starting to see pictures online. People are saying, oh my god, what's happening here? It's starting. Is this going to be another contested election? So that's what we're seeing online.
Great anticipation in terms of the presidential results. Ms. Chigumba stressing there that perhaps we can only get those results tomorrow. What is the online space feeling in terms of that announcement?
The online space they seem to be wanting the results like yesterday. Everyone is like waiting for the results, but we've noticed that they seem to, ZEC seems to have given out the results fairly time, in my opinion. I think it is normal. The results were supposed to come out on Friday or Saturday, and they seem to be coming out the presidential either maybe sometime today or tomorrow after the V11 forms have been agreed on by all these political parties. But there is huge anticipation, and we have seen online that people are starting to do their own collating. They're putting these Excel forms, posting. They've been taking these so-called VR11s, which are not. They've been taking photos from the polling station, and they are doing their own maths and trying to calculate. And from what we have seen, it's not the full picture. It's only the towns that they've put in, and it seems from the results they have at the moment in the towns, it seems like they were saying that the other candidate was winning instead of the other. So that's where there's also misinformation going on. So like we say, as like even the ZEC commissioner said, that let's wait for the official results from them. And I kind of like what the ZEC have done. They are also monitoring the social media, because she did say that she has seen all these claims and rumors on social media. If these political parties have any issues, let them go to the relevant authorities. So you can notice that this election is also running wild on social media, and ZEC themselves are monitoring and seeing what's going on.
Thank you very much to Sean Ndlovu. He is a social media expert. And there you have the picture from where we are, Michelle, in Zimbabwe. Tensions are running high in Harare. Very different picture in Bulawayo. It's almost a tale of two very, very different cities.